Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. I'm MaryAnne. Thank you for tuning in today. Welcome to your Sun Sign Love Connection readings. Today we're on the featured sign of Leo. So Leo, we had the moon in your sign yesterday, and then it did go into Virgo, right next to your sign. But yeah, fiery, passionate, sun-ruled Leo, right? Just full of life, full of drama and exaggeration at times, and just like I said, passion, right? Now the sun is your ruling planet, so it's all about your ego and your desires and your exterior world, you know, how you see things, how people see you, I should say, things that really excite you and want things that make you want to be very driven towards your likes and dislikes. You are a fixed sign. You have set kind of ideals, I would say, as all fixed signs do. And you have your opinions about things, and yeah, you listen to people, but for the most part, you kind of want it your way. I'm going to be real about it. We'll just keep it real. You have a charm about you that's really undeniable, and you have great love, like I said, and compassion for, I think, everybody you associate yourself with, and the ones that you don't, you let it go. You know, you might flare up if they say something or don't agree with you or whatever in a moment, but it's easily, as soon as it comes, it quickly disintegrates as well, if that's a proper way to describe it. I'm not sure. All I know is that you're admirable, you have great pride, and you do things to the fullest, and you know, you do love your friends and your social life, and you are very loyal and caring, very, very heart-centered. So yeah, so we're going to pick for you right in front of you, like I always do, your highlighted connection for today. These are the mid-month readings, the last half of May. Today's May 20th. Happy birthday, Geminis. We have just entered into Gemini season for a month through, I guess, June 20th. So this was my mother's birthday, and she was something else. She was an actress, and she was full of life and had a lot of versatility and creativity, and she was, there was a lot of variety that she liked. She was a mutable sign, as all Geminis are. And they like, you know, changing and learning. And I think one of the main archetypes associated with Gemini is a teacher. Very, very knowledgeable, very interested in expanding the mind. They are the air sign element. So it is about their mind. It's a masculine kind of energy where it's thoughts and it's, you know, action and definitely action with the Mercury ruled aspect of Geminis. You know, that's the movement, that's the constant movement, that's that nervous energy you kind of feel around a lot of Geminis. I know I do. It's like, whoa, you know, they just always got these ideas and these thoughts, and they're, you know, they're kind of scattered a lot of times, and they're just like, they're always thinking of the next thing, and can be a little absent-minded because of it, but at the same time, they're fun, and they take you places and explain things in ways that, you know, other people don't. They have a great gift of gab and the ability to express themselves in all forms of communication, whether it's written or spoken. I enjoy them dearly. I actually lost my sister, unfortunately, last year. I'm sorry, it would be 2019. Also Gemini, May 30th. So, you know, God rest her soul, probably with my mother. And so, yeah, Geminis are fun. No getting around it. So that's good for you too, Leo. This season will bring you more inspiration. You know, you tend to be inspired anyway, and you love to create and to, you know, be in charge and to be courageous and show people the way and demonstrate you're great teachers yourself. And when the two of these combinations, that energy you're going to be feeling for the next month, it's going to liven you up a lot. It is. I mean, I don't think you need that necessarily, but it's just a nice blend. I see many couples or relationships of partnerships of work co-workers that are the fire in the air, you know, whether it be Leo and Gemini or Sagittarius and Gemini, you know, you get the point. And it's really a good combination. So let's see who your highlighted connection is for today, Leo. And this is strictly spirit guided, and it's just something that spirit needs you to know about this particular combination. So I read 3 major categories for it. If you're new, welcome to my channel. Those that are coming back, I love and appreciate you. I do. I love your loyalty extremely. And then I go on to read the 2 oracles at the end for every single Leo and every one of your connections of love, no matter what it is. Okay, so everybody gets a part of the readings. And you have Taurus. That's interesting because I see a lot of the combination of Leo and Taurus. I really do. Completely opposite. We just finished Taurus season yesterday. There was a full load of incredible earth grounded kind of energy that happened in this last month. It was right after the Aries season, which is the first season of the year. Really, it starts our astrology year. And it's fiery, just like you, Leo. And then you've got the grounding and the, down to earth kind of practical energy we all need to kind of settle into at times in our life. And it's Venus ruled because that's what rules the sign of Taurus. So there was love sprinkled in it. There's more compassion in what you do. Definitely heart-centered. You felt relaxed and wanting to like just retreat, after the fired up kind of energy of Aries starting the year. Like, yes, it's been so different this past year. Let's get it going on, right? And all the energies are working for us. All the planets are basically direct at that point. And now, of course, one by one, they're doing what they usually do and they start to retrograde. And this month is no exception. Let's see, we have, I want to say Saturn, the taskmaster, very, kind of strict and keeping us confined and constricted in some areas of our life. Happens to be in Aquarius, so that's our minds again. How do we think? How do we communicate? I mean, it's everything in our life sometimes. If we say the wrong thing at the wrong time, it could really detrimentally affect us, right? We want to double think those things, especially during this month with the Gemini influence, because it's definitely about the mind and how we think and how we speak. Information, new ideas and expansion there. But it is, it's going to be a retrograde in Mercury. So we're already feeling the shadow period. Words are a little bit harder to formulate. There's stuttering that happens more often, certainly for myself. But it's a common denominator for Mercury basically appearing to go backwards when it's in retrograde. But it slows down. And it's one of the quickest, planets out there. So that's another reason why Gemini, generally being its ruling planet, has this kind of energy thing going on at all times, always in the mind thinking you got to calm them down, especially like in Taurus season. I think it really helped. It's time to kind of slow down and just kind of take a vacation, take some time off, enjoy yourself, laugh. Laughing is really important for all of us. It's a great healing, natural thing to do. And then, so that's happening on the 29th. And then we have our first full moon eclipse in Sagittarius. That's extremely good for you, Leo. And it's all about truth, man. Truth comes out, seeking truth for yourself, for others, your relationship, higher learning. That's so compatible, once again, with the Gemini energy, all happening at the same time. We want to learn, we want to educate ourselves more. We want that expansion. We felt confined anyway. And, once again, I'm not saying that Saturn confines our thinking per se, but what it does is, like, if we have an idea, it wants us to just focus on one or two things, okay? And then be really diligent and determined, which you are, Leo, because you're a fixed sign, and that's what determination represents. There's no stopping you. You're going to be, caught up sometimes and held back with the Mercury. You might have transportation issues, and it might be not as easy to get to where you need to go figuratively or mentally, but you're going to make it happen. You're going to have that wherewithal to know that you're going in the right direction. It's time to just kind of check everything out and double check it during a retrograde. Beautiful things can transpire. I don't know if you made an intention to put out your dreams and your desires for the new moon of Taurus, which would really equate to money and security in many, many ways. Taurus is a money sign as well. But I know that by the next new moon next month, it's really going to be pretty evident that what you've put into place is definitely showing some legs and some growth. And it won't stop now, but I highly recommend that you do take this retrograde time to just kind of do all the fine tuning, and just kind of do the due diligence of whatever it is you had started or thought about starting, okay? And don't give up and don't think, oh my gosh, all these blocks, these roadblocks, these challenges. No, it's not happening. It most certainly is happening. It's just happening in universal time, right? So, let's face it, I have a Aries moon. I have the fire in my chart. We're not the most patient, but we can be when we put our mind to it. And then you've got this wonderful Taurus. So Taurus is everything I said about the season, this grounded, practical, reliable, kind of cyclical, just we do things in the same way and it has the same results, which I happen to think are working, so why break it if it isn't, or fix it if it isn't broken kind of attitude. Also fixed. When you two get together, the only thing that I say is the most important thing with communication and everything is that you listen to each other. You don't have to agree with each other, but you have to agree to disagree. And hopefully it'll be things that you fully agree on, because when that happens between the two of you, I mean, you're just this incredible powerhouse of a combination. And I mean, there's determination between the two of you. There's long-term with this grounded, earth energy, which represents, permanence in whatever you might put your mind, your heart, your soul into. And Venus, like I said, Venus is about love. It's about working through things. It's about putting your heart first. It's not your mind. It's not the energy of, the Aquarian energy, which was predominant with Jupiter in Aquarian, which did in fact go into Pisces last week on the 13th and will be there till like July 28th. So through your season, Leo, but it brings out more love, more compassion, more vulnerability. And we all need that in our lives. It feels good. It feels, kind of brings us back to when we were younger and had love feelings and inspirations that are really important. Creativity is huge with Jupiter. So let it all fly. Let it all happen. Just believe and feel it and just go for it. You do that anyway, right? That's your thing. You're center stage. The world is your stage. You love to demonstrate how you feel, and you're usually at the top of your game, or you won't do it at all. So I like that combination. Let's see what the 3 major categories are for you. The first one is always the overall energy that led you to this reading. And I recommend, now that it is the mid-month readings, you go back to the beginning of the month if you didn't get to check those out, and see kind of where you are from there, and how the story is unfolding. Astrology and, Tarot, and certainly in my opinion, and I think most people who read Tarot, and it's storylines, it's guidelines, it's opportunities and possibilities, but it's free will. Okay, so these are just ways to kind of set you on your journey, if you will, and you can take them in and you can utilize the energies or not, and they're going to be there regardless, and they'll come back again in different forms and different times. There's a lot of cyclical and repeated kind of energies with the astrology aspect of life. And you can check back and go, I remember that. That's similar, but it has different aspects to it. So the first category, like I said, overall energy. What's going on right now with this beautiful Leo and Taurus? Incredible, powerful. I've been doing that a lot. Forgive me. That's just happening. This time it's not the whole half of the deck, though. Bear with me. Oh, I even had my kitten in here yesterday for the first time, letting him go wild. And only till the end did he start to shake the camera, but it was really cool. Because he always wants to be, and then when I heard him meowing outside, I'm like, I'm going to do it. It's time. He's a year old. He's already a year old. I got him last June, and I got him at 5 weeks, but my gosh, unbelievable. So, forgive me, let me do just another shuffle, and then we'll pick this out for you. Specifically for you, beautiful. Oh, 7 of Cups. Are there 2 here? No, they're just nice and thick. I'm using my movie tarot now for the second half of the month. One of my favorite decks that I got for Christmas from Santa Claus. Very appropriate for you, Leo. Very appropriate. 7 of Cups, options. Wow, lots of options. A lot of opportunities coming through. These eclipses change our lives dramatically, sometimes quickly, sometimes, it takes the 6 months to a year that they can affect us to make that change. I have a feeling you're ready for it. I think a lot of people are this year. I know I am, and I'm making changes within similar realms, but location where I'm working, I'm moving down the road just a bit to a better environment, and just a lot of things about it. And it came to me, I put it out there. But I highly recommend, the Cups are our emotions, the Pisces, Jupiter energy there, filling our hearts and working from our hearts, thinking from our hearts whenever possible. Very important, okay? It will never let you down. And I know people say, be more sensible. Don't go by your heart. Go by your heart. Gotta go by your heart. I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm just sharing it with you. Because I'm an air sign, and I usually just like, thinking through everything and what if this and then. No, we don't know all those answers. We can think we know it from previous experiences, but it'll weigh you down. Just listen to your heart. It's intuitive, it's strong, it's very, very capable of letting you and leading you to the right answers and conclusions. So I would only suggest that you narrow down your choices, okay? It looks as though the 2 new moons, in my opinion, are pretty prevalent in this card. And it's letting you know that from the last new moon on, what was it, May 11th to, this next one, I don't know when it is. Oh, it's the solar eclipse in Gemini on the 10th. Oh my gosh, that's a potent one. That's like a moon on steroids, okay? So you really, really want to focus on what you're talking about, because it will have to do with talking. It will have to do with how you express yourself in one way or another, I can promise you. Somehow or another, that's an influence that will definitely make or break the situation. So bear that in mind, okay? But a lot of beautiful chances and opportunities and wonderful, wonderful changes and transformations are coming through. For you, your highlighted connection, it doesn't have to be a loved one. As I always say, it could be a friend, a work partner, a family member. You're just feeling the energy of that Taurus really strongly now. You want to get yourself more grounded since you've been maybe more reactive and, fiery and passionate lately than you would maybe wanted to be. I know we all had kind of had that happening, especially last year when Mars, the planet of war and aggression, which rules Aries, it was in Aries for 6 months. That was a long time, and I think we all were very much aware of what was happening in the world. That was pretty volatile, right? You don't make these things up. This is our guidelines. This can happen. How are you going to react to it? Where are you going to be? How are you going to protect yourself? And when to speak out, when to argue, picking your battles type of thing. Second category is possible blessings or obstacles. And you have the Tower. Oh, gosh. I love the Tower. Right now, we had a Tower all last year was a Tower, right? And we didn't really have any choice. And that will happen in our lives. Absolutely, it does. However, this is not that kind of Tower. This is you making that change and you making this decision and being extremely grateful that this epiphany and these choices and opportunities came into your life. The Tower is definitely in the major arcana. This is, what is his name? Getting my lesser glasses. Okay, that's what I love about this deck. His name, I had it at the tip of my tongue, but I have my little cheat sheet here. This is, I'm going to say right off the bat, oh my gosh. Well, the Tower is 21, and that equals 3. That's other people, that's growth, that is help from others, third party sometimes. Let me go here real quick. Just want to say it before I get there, though, because I know who this is, and I'm just losing my mind. Part of the old... Wait a second, I'm way behind. Okay. Bear with me. Page before, right? Of course. Samuel Jackson. Okay, Samuel Jackson as Jules Winford in Pulp Fiction. Remember that? For those of you that are my age category, it was quite a long time ago, but I think a lot of people watched the rerun. Pulp Fiction, man, that shook people's lives up, boy. And that's the thing about the Tower. You have to have a good foundation in every aspect of your life, or it will fall apart, and then you can rebuild again. And that's what this is about. This is the new. This is the eclipse, ending things that aren't working, bringing things in quickly. Full moons, new moons, all of these both being, in the eclipses in the next moons that we have. Look at it, looks like little moons, but it's probably gunshots. I don't know. That part I'm not crazy about. It was a very violent movie, but you got to shake things up in your life to make new changes. And sometimes if you don't do it yourself, the universe will do it. And that's happened to me too. I knew I was putting it off. I thought, well, but life isn't always easy. You got to recognize that. And I'm a Libra. Can you tell? I was like, checking all the different, avenues and thought processes, but time to let stuff go. You're going to have a shakeup that's going to really, really be good for you. And I can promise you that if it wasn't a comfortable shakeup, it's something you're going to learn that it will probably never happen again in your lifetime, I would imagine. Not this lifetime. Because that's what they do. They teach us, The Tower. Let's get your life right. Let it get it to the place it needs to be. And and sometimes it's harsh, but it's tough love. Remember that, tough love. Okay, so that's interesting. You may know what that is already. You may instigate that Tower, and you're fully aware of it and you want it. And good for you, because that's how it works. You got to have that. You got to push through those things. Fire signs do that very well, I think, probably more than others. They lead us and show us. And I like that about you a lot. The third category is finances, because, money's important. And it's speaking of money, yes, figuratively, and it is the energy of money and the currents and how you put it out and bring it in and, the flow and sort of thing of that nature. It's also wealth, indicating wealth and what that means to you. Could be money, could be health, could be your relationship that you put first and foremost. And I know a lot of Leos do. Oh, their loves, they're center stage, boy. Spoil them rotten. Okay, you have the Chariot. I love the Chariot. The Chariot is victory. And there's Russell Crowe, boy, representing the sign of Cancer. So there's that Pisces, watery, water sign, water element, like Pisces, not Pisces. But that'll be next season. Next month, June, will be Cancer time. So you're putting the ideas and the opportunities to, you're looking at them carefully, you're being objective, and you're going through this time of retrograde, which will end in June on the 22nd, outside of the shadow period. And you're going to go full tilt and you're going to make that change. I don't know what it is. It's individual. You can let me know. If you have not subscribed, I would love you to do me that favor. It means a great deal. It's super supportive. And you can comment and I will always respond. I love the interaction and your, your support. And so, Chariot, mastering, fully aware of the ups and downs in life. We all have them. Life brings that on and it makes us stronger. I know. That's a saying that kind of like, I don't want to. Do I have to get any stronger? Yes, it's all for the betterment. It's all for our own good. We signed up for this, apparently. And it's about, being on top of your game. It's a vehicle. It could have to do with travel, absolutely. Moving, from one location to another, one job to another, one home. You could be definitely vacationing, which is, as long as you double check your, itinerary and, make sure you have your reservations and tickets and everything in order. It's a good time to travel when we have a retrograde, really, and just allowing life to just take its course and not expecting being flexible with the changes that'll probably incur, but being okay with that, because that's nothing compared to being able to enjoy yourself. Could be something happening with transportation that's very indicative of a Mercury retrograde as well. It's transportation. It affects that in some way or form. You could be buying a new car. I don't recommend it. During retrograde, you can look into all the specs and all the things you want. And then when retrograde goes forward, you can just swoop in there and get that car of your dreams, right? Maybe you're just using a different form of transportation. You'd rather ride a bike now. You're close enough, you feel better, you think it's better for your overall well-being, and into some exercise regimen that's starting. Could be the Tower as well, changing that up. Really deciding that's it. I'm not doing this, or I'm not doing it. That makes sense? I'm no longer going to not exercise. I want to add some form of exercise. And there's a lot of variables, but it feels really good. And if it's about money, which we're under that category, it's fulfillment. You worked hard. You will see the fruits of your labor. So there's the two water elements that are there for you. And I know as sure as I'm sitting here and feeling, it is the Pisces energy with Jupiter, because it's healing, it's receptive, and it reminds us to be very much in tune with our ability to feel and recognize our gifts, our manifestations, our intuition, our psychic abilities. We all have them. Comes in really strong during this time with Jupiter and Pisces. So I like that a lot for the two of you. It says a lot. But I will say that it's kind of a replay as far as a lot of my readings now about the transformation that's inevitable. It just is. And we're always transforming. It's nothing to be alarmed about or feel anxious about. just letting it happen is always nice because I welcome it, you know, but I'm also making those changes, and I feel like this is definitely something you are instigating. Okay, and that sounds like a Leo anyway. I really think so. You're leaders, you know, you lead the brigade. You're not necessarily a follower. I suppose some are, but let me finish with a rune that just kind of is the period to the whole reading for you. Very, very synchronistic when I bring my beautiful oracle runes, because they are so divinely guided and so full of wisdom. And you have, I don't know, I'll let you know, but it looks like this, unless I'm holding it upside down. I put it on this second category, the possible blessings or obstacles, having to do with this tower. Let's see what it says in regards to, you know, what you need to know. And first and foremost, the actual rune. Oh, that would be to the side then. Am I right about that? Yes. It's actually this. I'm sorry. It's this. It's like a C. And this is known for the letters, and then they have the words and the meaning behind the runes. So it is number 14. 14 is a 5 in numerology, 1 plus 4. That's change. That's working through challenge, boy. And we are in the 5th month, and this is a 5-year. So there's a lot of challenge, a lot of change, things that have come up we didn't see and we worked through, and we're going to continue to do that. The power is there for you. The love is there for you always. And, you know, just the drive, it's very strong. And that Sagittarius full moon is really going to make you real. It's going to perk you and just perk you up and just say, this is it. This is what I need to do. It's going to be amazing and very, very, very inspirational. So, what did I say it was, though? I apologize. Pertho. Pertho is the name of this rune, and it says dice box right next to it. Dice box is what it represents, what that word means. To me, that sounds like a gamble. That's many options, right? Let's see what it says. The period is between January 13th and January 27th. So Capricorn to Aquarius energy, earth and air, kind of like what's happening right now. It could happen by that time, or maybe something was in you know, starting to happen at the beginning of this year that kind of set everything into motion for you. There's another way to consider it. Either way, the response and the words are secret, magic, mystery, sensitivity, clairvoyance. There's the water in the cups. That's what they represent. Boy, we all have that. You may have predominance of water in your chart, Leo, in addition to the fire. It's always a very interesting intention kind of building energies when they're together, the different elements of water and fire. Intuition, independence, of course you're independent. Duration, continuity, and silence. Continuity, I apologize, continuity. Continuity, you know, just the keeping it going, keeping it flowing, you know. And, you know, there's something about consistency and continuity that always works. Silence, I love, because that's when you stop and you listen to your higher power and the gifts, like I said, that you have. And that's the strength of the chariot and the direction and the drive and the mastering of your body and your mind, you know, in addition to your jobs and things of that nature and your relationships. Powerful, powerful stuff, as are you, Leos. Either gender. I don't mention all the time, and I mean to. Sometimes I'll put a reference to a female, and I don't mean to. By the way, Leo is known as a masculine energy anyway. So, but that's phenomenal. I hope you feel that right this moment. You may, though, it may take time. It's different for everybody, I must say. Sometimes not at all. But you may have had a great, you know, kind of receptivity and connection to the beginning of the month readings. I don't know. I will finish, though, with your 2 oracles, Leo, and for all of your connections, as I mentioned. And this is the Wisdom of the Hidden Oracle. I call it Baron Reed. And yeah, oracles are there, once again, to guide us and to remind us of things we already actually know. And then it just kind of spurs our interest again, and, you know, and gives us that loving little tap on our shoulders or whisper in our ear, or messages to these beautiful oracle decks and divinations. So for you, beautiful Leos, May your light always, always shine brightly as the brightest star, which is your ruling planet, the sun. It's a great, it's one of the best cards in the deck. You have Observer. Ah, that makes me think of the word listen. Listen and observe now. You know, with the retrograde, don't get all hot and bothered and fired up with your element of fire when you know every Mercury retrograde kind of has the same influences, right? Some are more noticeable than others depending on the sign it is. This one will be predominance of what you're thinking, how you're talking. There'll be miscommunications a lot. You might get frustrated. Let it go and say, it's the Mercury retrograde. I'm going to focus on the things I've already put in place. Don't need to go anywhere too quickly. I trust in the process, and just observe. Be an observer this, next 30 days until it's over. Well, it starts on the 29th, ends on June 22nd, not even quite a month, but the shadow period will kind of linger. I love that. Isn't that perfect? And it's 49. 13, that equals a 4, 3 and 1, and that's about stability. 4 walls, security, safety, good foundation, because this tower shook away the part that wasn't working, and you're rebuilding it, and you're feeling really good about yourself and your finances and your relationships. You're mastering it. It takes doing things the way we wouldn't necessarily have chosen to do them, and decisions we do sometimes, to become the master and learn from that, right? I love this card. Look at, there's a new moon again, basically, and there's a fox looking with his, I want to say binoculars, that's not a telescope. But let me read to you what it says specifically, okay, Leos? And for 49, wrong one, forgive me. I came from work and it's been a good day, but at this point in the day, I'm like, okay. Definitely need to think before I speak during this time. Okay, essential meanings: perceptive, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. Now, the Oracle's message: most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences so much that they come to believe that these are the only reality. That would sort of be like a fixed sign. Or, we think our family is exactly the way everyone else was when we were growing up, and then we start to see otherwise. It's a real eye-opener, isn't it? I remember some of those epiphanies, like, wow, I thought you pronounced that word this way, like my grandmother always did, and no. And, that's just a small example. Oh, well, there are times when you need distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your life. This is a perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Okay? And instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to understand about the conditions, people, culture, and environment you've engaged with now. You'll be so happy you did. Illumination is the miracle you seek and will indeed find, and especially with that full moon in Sagittarius, your fellow fire sign, that just is so bright and so intense, being an eclipse. You will see the truth, and this is what you asked for. And by the way, it's so much better to know the truth, isn't it? There was a lot of conflicting informational things that happened in these last year and stuff. So I know everyone has their own truth, but I'm just saying, whatever it is for you, it will come about, and that's going to really illuminate your life in beautiful ways. I love the synchronicity of this reading. I think it makes perfect sense. And I'll finish with your super attractor manifestation message, which is just creating the life you want, feeling it into reality, okay? And just in every aspect of your body, mind, heart, spirit, soul, but, just all congruent and all like attracting like, and just going with the flow and trusting and just seeing it and making it happen. We do it all the time. It's so beautiful. Just be patient, because sometimes it takes a while for these dreams and visions to appear. Okay, this comes out so much. When I'm in a state of appreciation, I'm in a vibrational alignment with my true love nature, because you are so loving. It gets in your way almost sometimes. You're so passionate. But it's important, and love's important. And I know that you you're a great lover. You also love to just care about people, you know, and that's something that cannot ever be, you know, taken away from you. Okay, so just recognize that, appreciate you, thrive in your relationships. Take the time to just observe and just be still and listen during this retrograde, okay? Because there's a lot of information that'll be going around with Gemini's influence for sure. And take in what you need to, take in the opportunities that work and feel right for you, because there will be plentiful as well. I love and appreciate you being here with me. Thank you again, and take great care of yourself until next time. Bye for now.